I wanted to get on here like really quick and talk about how the Lord has like perfected temperance, one of the fruits of the spirits within me. Um, I guess with me, this journey started back like in 2013, and during that time, He was teaching me how to fast and the importance of fasting. And during the fasting process, it really like taught me how to be temperate and how to have self-control and basically learning how to die to the flesh. And with that process, the Lord showed me how to put back like on food. And I think that's like something that's super simple when you think about it, but to actually do it is very, very difficult because so many people have food addiction. And I would sit there and say, like, in America, it is at least, I would say, at least 75% of people actually have food addictions. Some people, they just actually just eat to sustain themselves or just for energy purposes. I have like two or three siblings that pretty much just eat to survive, and they say that they're not like addicted to food or anything. They just eat because they eat to survive or whatever. But in the whole process of like watching like what I eat and learning how to fast, I really learned or realized that if you can get your food addiction under control, you can pretty much get any other type of addiction under control, and that's concerning like with sin and the desire to sin in the flesh or whatever. And once I got that under control, it was like everything else just fell into place. Um, with the process of me fasting, and I would do a large fast, at least 21 days, like each year or twice out of the year. And with each fast, like the Lord would show me just different foods or whatever to sit there and just put away, or different foods to like give up. And it started with something simple like with meat. I gave that up. And then it transitioned into me giving up dairy products. So I basically like became vegan. And I saw that having that self-control, and when I go to different places to eat or having people to invite me to eat, it's almost as if like that self-control of like pushing the plate back or sitting there showing like, no, I'm not gonna eat that, but this is okay. It basically sit there and just show that having that self-control, that willpower, the desire to actually control your urges and not just go full throttle into whatever you want. It goes across the board, and it touches every area of your life. And that's one of the ways that the Lord has like perfected the temperance, the whole temperance process within me. Um, and it's almost to the point where some people are just like blown away by it, because I had a huge food addiction, and I would sit there and eat anything. Like, I have like six brothers and two sisters, and I'm the baby girl, but out of the bunch, they pretty much would sit there and be like, whenever we would go to a church event or a family event or something, like my family would be like picky eaters or whatever. Whenever we would go somewhere, basically I was the guinea pig to sit there and like try something to see if it was okay. And then if I say it was okay, then they'll try to eat it. But they was like, oh, let Crystal eat it because she'll eat anything. And now them actually seeing me and the progress that I've made with like having things that I don't eat, period, is kind of like a shocker to them. And some of them are like seeing it as like, wow, I want to get healthier and do better and everything. And some people will like be funny and be like, oh, you're eating like a bird again. But it's basically the Lord using me as a vessel and showing and perfecting like the temperance, the self-control within me, and knowing how to push back the plate and being able to control different areas across the board and controlling those appetites and urges, because food is one of those things that people usually initially have an appetite for, but once you cease that and control that, it'll balance out in every arena in your life. So for people who have like a lust or addiction to watching porn or gambling or all of these different urges, it's basically like a flesh. The flesh is like pulling you. But once they just let the Lord like teach them the self-control and having different self-controls and different arenas, it'll go across the board, and it'll be such a blessing to be able to sit there and like realize like, oh, I don't have to worry about sinning with this or sinning with that, because I've overcame that. I've overcame that addiction, and it's pretty wonderful. And I think that's all I have to say right now. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll talk to you all later.